All right. So once again, y'all, just want to say just good evening to everybody. Thank you all so much for coming together on this Zoom. Tasha, thank you so much for putting this together and helping me to facilitate this moment in history. I like the little title you had, "Chat with Pastor: Paradise Memories." I really enjoyed it. That was a good one. So, and I'm just looking forward to just hearing the things that you all are going to share tonight. First of all, what I want to do is I want everybody just to introduce yourselves. You can just kind of tell us a little about yourself. So are you still a current member, former member? Just what you're doing in ministry now. Just so those who are not familiar with Paradise will know who you are. So you know what? I think I want to start with let's see, I want to start with Aunt Bessie, if that's all right.
Yeah.
That's you, Mom.
Okay, my name.
Yeah, and how long when you start? When you start going to? How far back you want to go to Paradise? Because
when they first put the first
beginning
on Stanley, that little building. That
I want to go as
oh, wow.
Jackson.
I can't remember the year. Oh, Rachel, get out.
You remember the year Rachel? Oh, Rachel wasn't even born then, was she? No, you weren't even born.
It was the year. It was the year before me. They started in 1982.
1982?
Yes, I was born in 83.
Were you born by then?
No, I was born in 83.
Oh, okay.
I remember. Oh, on Stafford. Oh, I never forget that building.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
how did Uncle Johnny even find that building?
Well, it wasn't hard.
Wait, y'all. I want y'all to introduce yourself first, y'all.
My name is.
Like this.
Oh, I'm sorry. I jumped the gun. So just tell them who you are and what ministry you work here. I'm sorry. Start over.
My name is Bessie Kelly, and I joined Paradise in the beginning.
All right.
We organized at Reverend Johnny Kelly, who was my brother.
All right.
Organized, and we rent that building on Stafford.
Well, they want to know what ministry you worked in.
Wait a minute, I'm gonna get there.
Oh, okay.
I started out usher.
Okay.
And I was I think I was the first usher of Paradise Baptist Church.
Wow.
And in the beginning, we were so proud of that building, y'all just don't know how I rejoice. Because every Sunday morning, Saturday, Bertha and I would get up and go clean up the building. It rained that Saturday night, and we had to do it all over again.
Okay, I think you're gonna go to the next member to get a name and what ministry. Or do you want to stay with Aunt Bessie?
No, we're gonna come back. So Aunt Bessie, hold on. So we're gonna come back to that. All right, Minister Denise, I'm just going with who I see. Minister Denise, I'm gonna let you go next.
Okay, this is Denise Kelly. I'm a former member of Paradise Missionary Baptist Church. I was back there way back then in the beginning. I remember that old building also, Bessie. I remember it. I worked with the children's ministry, the youth ministry, and couldn't sing a lick, but there were so few of us, but so many children. We got to sing with the choir. They even Lola let me sing with the choir, even though I couldn't sing. But those were some wonderful times.
Oh, yeah, it was.
All right, Sister Christine, I'm gonna go with you next.
I am a current member, and I remember, I guess I joined like in 1983, because I remember when Rachel was born, we was having a meeting. I mean, not a meeting, a program at the church. So I guess I've been there pretty much when the church really just organized. I knew I came later, but I'm in the bereavement committee. I'm on the board, and I work with the finance.
All right. Let's go to the Glaspers.
Hi, I am a former member of Paradise. I'm Lola Glasper, and I started in 1980. I want to say the latter part of 82. When did you say the church was installed?
82,
I
1982.
think you're right, Lola. Latter part of '82.
Latter part of 82. And I was one of the musicians for years to come. But that building, Rock Daniel, talk about having some service on Stasson Street in the little building that used to be a club.
Ooh.
Praising the Lord. We praise the Lord in that building with the water streaming down out of the ceiling when it was raining. I can remember sitting on the piano bench with a bucket sitting beside me to catch the water. It didn't stop me though. We used to rock Daniel in that building. It was so spiritual over there. That's one of the main things that kept me at Paradise in the little building. Because you know how people look at, I don't want to go to that little church over there in that hole in the wall. But the pride left. We started praising the Lord and talk about praising the Lord, praise the Lord. We praise the Lord. And the thing that stands out too, mostly in my mind, I get emotional, you know, when I talk about this, but when we used to go to the conventions and all of these choirs were there, you know, you got these up choirs, Trey, you know what I mean when I'm talking about piano player, baby, the rock and just throw stones around it. But I used to tell Rev, why is it that when we come, we always was last? Our choir and him, we all know he could preach the word, but he told me something that stuck with me. He said he had been told that the reason they wanted Paradise to be last because we were the spiritual. We were the ones that brought the fire to the building.
Wow.
And that kind of resonated with me, you know, you don't have to be grand to praise the Lord. God doesn't have any respect to persons.
That's right.
And I know we all know this. But that stuck out with me. But I stayed at Paradise until, oh my Lord, in the 90s. Well, 12, 15, probably 15 years or more. But we had service, Lord knows, in that building. And I'm going to stop because I'll get carried away and keep going. But I'm thinking of something Denise just said about the choir. We had probably, what, 6 members? maybe 6 members, 6 or 7 at the most.
6 adults and their children, or 7 adults and their children.
That was our choir. But believe me, when we got going, baby, we got going. And I thank the Lord for that. We came a long way, and now, even though I'm not at Paradise anymore, it's still going strong. And I thank the Lord for that.
Amen.
So I'm signing off now. Bye.
Oh, you ain't signing. Well, we ain't done yet. All right, Tiff, you want to go ahead?
So yeah, Tiffany Glasper. So obviously the church was already installed when I was born, but I was born at Paradise and I grew up at Paradise. So my whole youth and my young adult life has been at Paradise. So all I know, I am a part of the family. Reverend Johnny Kelly was my cousin, my dad's first cousin. So all family, you know, it's all I knew as a kid. But we had I have a lot of memories just with watching the church develop and grow, and new people coming, and all of us are now grown, so we have children. So it's a lot of history in Paradise.
Awesome. All right, Sister Raven and Sister Sheila Moore.
Hello, I'm Sister Mary Raven, and I joined Paradise later. I used to walk all the time to the park, and I passed by Brother Lewis Kelly's house, and that was Pastor's brother, and he invited me to Paradise. And that was in 1986. And I thank the Lord for that. We had such a beautiful, beautiful time in the Lord. And Pastor was very, very spiritual leader. And also I work on first of all, the usher board with Betsy Kelly, long time with Betsy Kelly and some other ushers. But anyhow, also I taught in the Sunday school. I taught the little ones in the Sunday school, and that was a joy. And then also I was the president of the Pastors Aid Committee.
All right.
That was a blessing. And then I worked with the baptism community. And truly the Spirit was in there. And Pastor Kelly was a man of his word. He was a good leader. First of all, he loved the God and Jesus.
Yeah.
And he was a leader. And then he also loved his family, personal, as well as his church family. And it's a blessing still to be a member of Paradise Baptist Church.
Amen.
Oh, yeah.
Amen.
Praise God.
Amen. All right, Sister Sheila, let's hear from you.
Hello, I'm Sheila Moore. I became a member in 1986 with my mom, but later I was in the choir and what else I was doing? I was in the choir. Well, that was mostly it I did was the choir.
Everybody else was in the least.
And I traveled. See, and I got married and I traveled with my husband in the military. So I was, whenever I come to Paradise, whenever I come home, I will show my face up in Paradise.
Okay, that's a rarity, Sister Sheila, because a lot of people who are talking with like a whole bunch of like various ministries. So you only did one or two things. That's a rarity for this group. Absolutely. All right, Sister Tasha. Unmute, baby.
Tasha didn't do too much.
Tasha?
Unmute, Tasha.
Where's
I did, so wait a minute. I've been there since my grant been there.
Hey, baby.
And I sung in the choir too. And I led a song before.
Hey, Tasha.
I sure did. Hey, Martha. And let me tell you what else I did. So then when I got older, I was over the youth department. Ooh, Jesus. But we did that. So I tried to follow the footsteps of my aunt. She left these great big shoes to fill. But boy, we did it. We would have lock-ins and we would go to conventions. And like Lola said, we were small, but back when we showed up, we showed out. We would practice and we came to do what we did. And, and Lola made me think, no matter how many people we had or didn't have, the Spirit truly just followed us.
Yes.
Like if it was 6 praise leaders or 25 in the choir, the Spirit was just there. And that's what keeps people here with us or coming back or connected. Even those who've gone on to other churches are just still connected.
Yeah.
Naturally. And it's just a beautiful thing. So that's what I did. So we did Vacation Bible School and I was over the youth department and I retired singing. I would never sing again because I sung every time we had to. Yes, and they used to tell me to say watermelon, watermelon, and don't say no words for real. So I was done getting my feelings hurt. And now I'm just a hype squad. That's my job.
Okay, all right.
Girl.
All right, so let's hear from Rachel, and I want to hear from Miss Bertha. I see she's in here now. Amen. All right.
Hey, Sister Bertha.
You can let Mama go. Let Mama go first.
She said, Mama go first. All right, Rachel said, let Mama go first. So, Mama, you go first.
So what am I supposed to say? Okay, well, everybody know that Paradise is always in my heart. Has been. We was there. I saw everything go up. I'll start crying in a minute, y'all. So
That's all right.
it's so many great memories. and the love. It's a lot of new people that I don't know, but the ones I do know that's there, we came a long way. When we started out on Statson Street, Bessie and myself would go on the weekends and clean up, because if it rained or anything, it would rain in the building.
So now we know Aunt Bessie was telling the truth about the rain.
We like she just said that.
She just told that, so she was telling the truth.
And so
Every truth be established by
And
2 or 3 witnesses.
Bessie and I,
That's Bible.
Bessie and I were the janitors for I know 8 years. So when we first started out, Bessie and I was Ursha, and I tried to sing, and I would go up in the choir. We would Ursha, and then I'd go up in the choir. And Lola, and it's just she was there with us, and oh God, she was just a blessing. And we would go to the church, and when we were in the association, sometimes we would be because our name was P. We would last ones to sing, and so sometimes when it was time for the children, and it was all of the people that was in the choir. It was maybe 3 adults and the rest was children. Well, we children. Remember? Lola know that. And but she didn't falter. She just played for the children, and they grew up to be great in the choir. And so God bless us from that rain children to the next phase, Tangerine. And I want to say Sister Mary Raven was one of the first to join there when we moved to Tangerine. And she came through Brother Lewis. But I know that, and when we were singing in the choir, Denise was the director. Y'all, that she was directing the choir.
Yeah.
And Denise was standing there, she was direct. And later on, as Andre matured, then Andre came, music, and he and Lola together. So I was out at everything, because my car was the bus for a lot. And I would have to stay through choir rehearsal and all of that, because I would picked up the Anthony Rogers and his cousin. We moved to Tangerine. From Statson to Tangerine, we had so much faith what God was gonna do. We had the faith that just what he have established. It came faith. And Kelly built. I didn't think I had a husband anymore, because he would go there stay all day when we in the building. So when the foundation poured, Pastor Kelly, all the young.
Everybody go on mute.
All right, you know what? Hey, do me. What I'm gonna do, Sister Bertha, I'm gonna mute everybody, unmute you, okay?
And they
All right. Sister Bertha, go ahead, do it. Unmute for me. Unmute for me. All right.
okay.
There you go. All right.
Yeah. So they actually put the church. They built the frame.
Mama, you supposed to just introduce yourself.
Oh. Well, I asked y'all what I was supposed to do, and they said.
You know, and I was just enjoying. I mean, I got so into what she said. I was just enjoying this other stuff.
Okay. My name is Bertha Kelly, and I was there from the beginning of Paradise. It was organized in my house, and I say mine. It was ours, but now it's mine.
It's your house.
That's right, girl. Okay, is that all I'm supposed to say, Rachel? Can
Yes,
I say
ma'am.
anything else, Pastor?
He's supposed to ask. He's gonna ask questions, Mama.
Okay. I'm gonna stop.
We can tell you friends with Wanda Davis for sure. All right, come on, Rachel.
So you're not gonna ask me no? I don't get the. I don't get to answer any questions.
He haven't asked any yet. Everybody was still introducing themselves. Oh,
right now, Miss Bertha.
Okay. My name is Bertha Kelly.
Oh boy, I can't wait to air this.
Y'all pray my strength in the Lord. I'm Rachel Kelly Hamilton. Well, I go by Rachel Hamilton, but Rachel Kelly is what I grew up as. I grew up at Paradise. It was all I knew until I got a little bit older. So I'm a former member. Anything that there was to be a part of, I was a part of it. While everybody else tell their stories, I was one of the choir directors also. That's something we was known for because they had that little girl that was playing the tambourine or directing the choir. And yeah, so anything that there was to be a part of, I was a part of, probably not by choice. I was voluntold. And and that's that.
Okay, all right. And man, just hearing this, I mean, I ain't even got to the questions I wanted to get to yet. Y'all just
Oh man, I'm sorry.
But I know, like, for me, being kind of like the new guy coming in, I'm learning a lot, but in a way, I'm kind of like the new guy that happens to be the old guy all at the same time, because I knew a lot about Paradise through Andre and Angie because my mother taught them at Worthing. And I believe Miss Bertha was, Miss Bertha, weren't you like the Booster Club president or something?
I was a choir mother.
The choir mother, that was you, the choir mother. And I can just remember when my mom would have this thing called the Gospel Sing-a-thon, you know, and I think it was like right after Andre graduated high school, and she used to have her sing-a-thons, and I think she had it at Grace St. Matthew a couple of times, and I think right around the time Grace St. Matthew built the bigger building they had on Jutland, I thought they were going to have it again at Grace St. Matthew on Jutland. So Mom comes to me. Well, no, I came to her. I said, well, Mom, I was about maybe 10, 11 years old. So I was like, Mom, what are we going to do to sing-a-thon? And she said, we're going to do it at Pastor Kelly's church at Paradise. I say, that little bitty church around the corner from Worthing? You know, in your mind, I'm a kid, right? I say, Mom, you know, and just me being a typical young kid, not knowing no better, I say, Mom, why you going to have that church so small? You can go outside to change your mind. And of course, you know, I can't repeat what she said to me on this Zoom, but let me just paraphrase what she said. You know, I talked about interpretation Wednesday night Bible study. Let me interpret what she said. She said that Pastor Kelly and Sister Kelly have been good to us, and they're letting us use their church for free, and that's what we're gonna do. And you better not let me hear you say nothing like that again, or else I'm going blank, 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 yo, blankety, blank, blank, blank. And that was the end of that. And I can just remember because, you know, when y'all talk about the choir, Paradise Choir. You know, Paradise always had a rich history of having a strong music department. And I remember when walking into that building, you know, which is our fellowship hall now, you know, and I remember, you know, hearing, you know, Dre on the keyboards and, you know, the drums are going. And, you know, me being a young musician myself, I'm like, man, this little church over here be thumping. I like this. I mean, I'm over there sitting in the back. I think that's like, y'all, that little section y'all had in the back, like it was kind of like.
Right. Yeah, kind of separate.
Yeah, I was sitting back there and I was like, man, you know, they throwing down up here. I'm feeling this. And I had fallen in love with Paradise Music Department ever since then. And little did I know, some 30-something years later, I would be in the position of pastoring the church. So, I mean, just everything just came full circle. And I like to say, you know, because, you know, Dre and Angela always say that, you know, well, you know, my mom paved the way for them, but I got to let them know, hey, you know, your mom and your dad paved the way for me for what I'm doing right now. And I tell, you know, Sister Bertha Kelly, I said this to Tasha earlier, and I'll say this publicly to anybody. Sister Bertha Kelly, you are Paradise. I don't care what anybody says. You are Paradise. And that's my thought right there, because, I mean, just, that's just my thought. Amen. Amen. But I want to ask y'all some questions here. First of all, you know, I want, if somebody, whoever wants to answer this, you can. Describe Pastor Kelly to me. Describe his preaching style, his leadership style. You know, I know we talked, I know Sister Raven talked a little bit about, you know, his relationship with his family and his members. You know, can y'all tell me a little bit more about that? I mean, I just want to know. Anybody? Y'all can unmute, just talk. Oh, Angie's on. Okay, all right.
Hey, girl.
Hey, Angie. All right, now, Angie, you missed the introductions. You got to introduce yourself.
I see you, girl.
Get to my first question.
I can't see her. How come I can't see her?
Angie, unmute.
Who can't see me?
You gotta switch your.
I see it.
There you go.
Now what I gotta do, Pastor Davis?
Just introduce yourself and talk about your connection to Paradise over the years. Don't do like tell the whole story. Now, yeah, I'm gonna get to that next.
You can say that to her, but you didn't say it to me.
Oh, I never. Oh, no, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Well, then don't be saying it to me neither. Then.
You got see. So y'all, I'm Pastor Jim. I'm still a little trace. I gotta walk.
Okay, so you said introduce myself. Sure, I'm Anjanette. Maiden name Kelly. Allwood is who I am. I am the daughter of the founder, one of the daughters of the founder, Pastor Johnny Kelly. Paradise is what I know. Paradise is the base of all that I know. I think we all but slept at Paradise. I think I slept too. I slept too. I didn't stay woke through all the sermons. I slept too. Slept and sang. Yes, Jesus. I've been a part of Paradise. Paradise has been a part of me. Paradise is my sister. Paradise is my she's my baby sister because I still got here before she did. So yes, and you are my child. Oh. Paradise is my baby sister. At the end of the day, that's who she really is. What else you want to know, Pastor Davis?
I'm getting to the meat now. All right, so right before you came in, Angie, I was just asking, and anybody who wants to share can share. Talk to me about Pastor Kelly. Talk to me about his preaching, about his leadership. Because all the years I've known Pastor Kelly, y'all might not believe, I never heard him preach. All the years I've known him, I've seen him, you know, in action, seen him in leadership. I've seen him take up an office. I've seen him extend the invitation, but I never heard him preach, and I've never really had a chance to really see everything that he was about. So describe Pastor Kelly to me.
Pastor Kelly was a teacher. He didn't just preach the word, he was a teacher. Everything about who he was a teacher. His day-to-day, I learned more than I wanted to know, more than I wanted to learn, because it was a constant thing. It wasn't about just when he was in a pulpit, but every day from even indirectly. That was who he was. So his sermons was never a matter of him just hooping. We went to the cross. Yes, we know that we went to the cross, and we went to the burial site. We did all of that, and we did it faithfully. He was good in Baptist, but he taught. There were life lessons. There were things to learn and to know. He taught us to love. He taught us family. Family was everything. So we might fight, but at the end of the day, we family. So come on, we gotta go. We got stuff to do. It was about fellowship, and for as long as, and mama, for as long as there was always somebody else in our house. And to this day, I don't know how to do Sundays without a crowd, because Sunday meant that we were all going to church and all the family was going to be together. And it was never just us coming back home after church. Never, ever, ever in life. I don't do a lot of 3:30 services no more. Nor evening services, but it doesn't bother me being in church, because that was a part of it. And that was what he taught, from Sunday school to Bible study. It was to Sunday morning preaching. It was always a lesson. It was up to you whether you got it, but he was a teacher. He was an educator. You were going to learn again, even if you didn't want to, even from the common casual conversation. You was going to have to get it. And if you weren't too careful, then you was going to hear about it in Sunday morning sermon.
And I was just thinking about something as you were talking. Pastor Kelly, from my understanding, had a great love for fishing. He had a great fishing. I mean, because I seen all the pictures that Andre posted, you all posted, and I think I even on his birthday, I even posted some on our church page. And it's just so ironic that someone who actually was, I would consider Pastor Kelly somewhat of a modern day fisherman, but he was also a fisher of men. Which was a great thing, and that's something I totally really respected about him in the short time I did get a chance to know him. I got to know his heart, his heart for God, his heart for the people, and it definitely showed through his children, and even to this day, it still shows. And let me ask y'all this, especially with his children, because I noticed, I've never been a pastor's kid. Nothing like that. I was a musician's child, which pretty much is almost like the same thing. You got drugged to church all the time, all day long, 7:30 in the morning, 11 o'clock service, 3 o'clock service, 7 o'clock service. New Faith had like 3 and 4 back in the day.
Right. If it was a service, you were there.
If it was a service, you were there. and anybody in the Kelly family can speak on this. When Pastor came to y'all, and when he said the Lord told him to start a church, it was time to organize Paradise. What were the thoughts, Angie, especially, what was the thought that went through your mind? Because I can think to when we started our first church, our kids were like, we gonna leave where we are and go start a whole nother. I just want to know. I'm just curious.
Well, for me, I was at the age when we left Fulshire to come to, he was pastoring in Fulshire, and Fulshire was fine for me because, again, it was what I was born into. So it was, we all getting in the car and we all riding, and it was always a lot of us in the car, like, where's Aunt Bessie and my mama? It was like, there was never less than, if the car held 5, supposedly, it was at least 7 of us in there. Right?
Okay, and as the children, she was 8 months old when we first went to Fulshire. So as she say, she grew up in the church. So she was like 8 months old. But it was Bessie and her 2 children. It was me, Andre, and John. Dolores Howard. She was the musician in Fulshire. Dolores Howard and her 2 children.
And how many was that car supposed to
all in that one car.
So yeah, it was always a lot of us. And church was just like Mama just said. I was 8 months, so church is what I've known. Like when I'm not at church or when I'm not around family or I'm not around a lot of people, I don't know, I don't feel right. I'm very displaced because it's all I knew. And when we moved to Houston, it was all family, and I was still a child. So it was all family, you know. And even for those that weren't family by blood, because we were all so close knit that it was hard to tell. People didn't know who was blood and who wasn't, because we were all one. We moved together. And like I said, even when it wasn't because we weren't superficial, so everything wasn't always peachy and everybody was, oh well, the love of God was flowing from our hearts and we saw no wrong in anyone. It wasn't like that. But we all, you know, whatever was going on, and adults were adults and kids were kids. So if it wasn't something right, the kids didn't know about it like that. That was not our place. So there were no I can't say that there was any ill, like, oh no, we have to go to, no, because even in the building, it was all family. My uncles and my aunties, and, you know, Aunt Bessie was always at the door, and that, you know, that she was always at the door. And then when Sister Raven them came, and every transition from each location has always been family, and it was always an add-in. When we moved to Houston, and even when Lola started playing, Lola is family. So, you know, everything, the whole process. I don't know what family is to everybody else or to anybody else, but for us, like, my dad wasn't ever, it wasn't one of those where, oh, that's such and such daughter, so they can't come. Or that's my third cousin down that way. So now we were all, I guess you could say, raised like first cousins. Is that the best way to put it?
Yeah.
You know, I know people look at distant cousins different, but we weren't raised like that. So each transition was like, oh, okay, we have to. And he was always in the grind with them. So if they were laying cement, then he was there laying cement. If they were packing stuff around, then he was packing stuff around. So I don't know. For me, Pastor Davis, it was never one of those. It was never one of those, you know, like I said, even as a child, it was just like, oh, okay, if my mama and my dad said this is what we was doing, then okay, well, oh, I have to go to mission. Oh, okay.
That's just what you did, huh?
It's just what it, and maybe that's what made it a little bit easier for me. It was like, oh, okay, we going. Then, like I said, got a little bit older, and no, we're not going to 3:30 service. No.
Accountability.
Stop it. It's over. 11 o'clock service, benediction. That's it. No,
Okay.
you can't see me no more.
And I was thinking, and you said something about like when Pastor was laying the concrete, and there's a picture that, you know, when I went through some of the memories I found from an old Paradise Facebook page of Pastor literally laying the foundation, you know, and talk to me. Yeah, talk to me about that. Like, okay, I know you all in the building on Stetson Street. Now, talk to me about the transition from Stetson to Tangerine. Tell me about that.
It took us like.
Go ahead.
We started a building fund, and as you say, other family members. So Rem Kelly kind of knew basically it was like he just did it. He knew basically that you needed trustees, you needed deacons, and so people started filling in. We had a person that we called Papa. His name was Brother Taylor. He came from Jerusalem to be with his nephew, and he was a deacon. Reverend Rob at the time was a deacon, and Brother Lewis was a deacon. So that was the deacon staff. Then Reverend Rob and Brother Lewis, they started the as superintendent of Sunday school. And so it just, it was all coming to help. Reverend Rob came and joined, Brother Lewis came and joined, and Papa came and joined. And Lola, came as and she was a cousin. She was married to their first cousin. So it was still our, at the time, our family. And each one was drawing somebody else that came along with them. So that's how the church grew. And I think that's really how when they started calling out the names and they was Kelly. Well, people was like, is this church full of Kellys? Well, that's what family does. And
if your family ain't with you.
Yeah. So, but the transition, it went really fast because we started a building fund. And as we got the money, we did the things that we could with, to start. So we had to get a blueprint. And this Paradise was made just like I can't think of his name now. But
Pleasant, Pleasant, Peace for Rest.
Peace for Rest.
Peace for Rest.
Peace for Rest.
And that was just a blessing because that pastor let us use those blueprints because it cost so much. And to do that stuff back there, he let us use his blueprints. That's how we got started real early. And then Rev was working for a guy that owned a construction company. And he gave us he came and had his company hold the foundation.
Reverend Mackey.
No.
No.
Oh yeah, Reverend Mackey financed it when it ended. But Reverend, the person he worked for, pulled the foundation. So we had the blueprint, and we got the foundation poured, and we were still raising money, and we were not selling dinners or anything. We sold a few dinners. Sister Margaret worked at a hospital, and we sold some dinners there. But like $50, $60, $100 was a lot of money at that time. Yeah. And but we pitched in and we were giving $25 each person a month. And that's how we really raised money. And then we programmed to death. We had Saturday night programs, and we had quartets to come in because Reverend LaFleur became a member. He was friends with Reverend Rob. From Christian Faith. And so we had a lot of quartets come in. We did programs. I did programs. We did.
Yeah.
We did the bride, the little children's bride. We did. And so when we did the programs, it involved other people. So we got a lot of people coming by doing programs.
Right.
And so that's how the foundation was poured by the guy that Rev worked for. He poured that foundation free for us. We got the blueprint from Pleasant Grove. But that's how that part's out. And as I was telling you from the beginning, Reverend Kelly, we had a few people to come in and they put up the walls.
Okay.
They had completed the walls and everything when we went to get it financed. all we had to do was finish. Cause Rev and them actually, and them boys put that what you call a steeple. They had to put that whatever holds the foundation. They had a crane come in and they had to go up there and do whatever to build that church.
Wow.
That's what I was going to say. That's the part I remember as a child. I was like, I don't remember who all played a part, but they built that church with their hands, with their own labor. I remember seeing them working to build that church.
Yes. Wow. Reverend, you remember Reverend Dotson?
Yes.
See, Reverend Dotson was a carpenter.
Yes.
So Reverend Dotson was Reverend Dotson, Reverend Rob, Johnny, Louis, Andre, John, and Ray.
Anthony Roberts.
And no, Anthony didn't work on the church.
Oh, he didn't work. Okay.
But he never did come and work on the church. But they was the ones that was up there.
I remember that.
When Reverend Dotson was up there fixing on the church one time, a guy came from somebody from the neighborhood and was stealing all of his equipment.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And he was up there, and so they say Reverend Dotson was up there cursing. The guy was running down the road with all of his tools. And he's up on the roof.
Wow. Reverend Dotson was like another Peter. Every pastor need a Peter. I believe that. That was.
Yeah, and then I remember also Mama saying that. So once they did build the church, my grandfather worked at a Catholic church, and they donated the pews, right, Mama?
Well, yeah, our first set of pews. Well, that was at the old church.
Oh, Stats.
Okay.
When we was on the at the old church, my father worked at a Episcopal church, and they had all these pews that they didn't use, and he went and asked for them. So Daddy brought all the pews and all the pastor study desk and everything. So my father furnished that out. And then when we got in got the cafeteria, the little cafeteria bill, my father brought all the tables and chairs.
Nice.
Okay.
So it was still family and still bringing in stuff.
Awesome, man. That's awesome. And I was just thinking, of course, I know, you all went from, Stasson to Tangerine, and I'm sure before you all built the building that we're in now, I'm sure, the church, where the fellowship hall is, I'm sure it went through some facelifts over this. I saw some pictures. I don't remember coming in the building and had the paneling on the wall. I don't remember that. I remember by the time I came, it was all sheetrock. So talk to me a little about how you all remodeled just the building before we built the current facility we're in now.
Somebody
the church when it had that back section where you
it wasn't remodeled until they got ready for the new building.
So that paneling had been on the wall, all those years.
Yeah.
What's been on the wall?
It didn't get changed until they made it into
Okay, I don't know. I guess maybe I got a little confused right there.
I think I misunderstood the question. Can you ask again?
No, he's talking about the building that's now okay. We were worship that was a paradise. So then it became the new paradise. See where the new paradise is. First, we bought the
it was a
land.
house.
That was a house.
They had a pear tree.
That
was a good pear tree. I just thought about that tree the other day.
First, we bought the land where the old paradise was. Then we
where the fellowship hall is.
Yeah.
Then that was the building we moved from Stasson Street in.
Okay.
Then we bought the land next door that had a house on it. and that's where the new building is built.
Okay.
We
That
used to
wasn't
use that
our
house for
main
Sunday
church.
school,
Sunday school, yes.
It was
Our
it was
Sunday school and
choir rehearsal.
Oh, wow.
vacation
When they had
Bible
other stuff
school,
going on, vacation
Mhm.
Bible school, because it was a house
convention
and it had
classes.
rooms. So we used those rooms,
Okay.
and that's usually where a lot of the Sunday school classes were
Oh.
over there. And then like in the old Paradise, those two rooms, like the room on the right hand side where you could get to the baptism pool, that was Sister Raven's classroom.
Oh.
For Sunday school. Yeah.
Okay.
We was in the back. And that was actually something I want to say when you was asking earlier. One of my fondest memories, or one of the things that I can say about Paradise, is that what I do believe is that all of our foundation is extremely strong. My foundation is from there. And like Sheila tell you, I would text her all the time telling her, tell your mama how much I love her, because there was a lot of things that as an adult, I'm remembering the stories that she taught me, or even as Lola being the musician. In my adulthood, I am understanding, Mama talking about she was about to cry, I'm about to cry. I'm understanding the songs that I was singing as a little kid, that I was just in the choir, I didn't know what I was singing. And as an adult, those are the songs that come to mind.
Oh yeah.
That's helping me through.
Yeah.
And so I would say, and as they were saying, it's family, but it was our foundation. And I believe that is what has kept us all these years, is because where we may have not had much, whatever we had, we shared.
Yes,
We were
yes,
always
yes.
together. No one lacked. And we were just always, we were always together, and we knew that God was there. And so it's in that I am beyond grateful, is that they taught us, like they were saying, Tasha was saying, vacation Bible school from Denise teaching us those things is crazy. Because just the other week I was talking about my stepdaughter, her mother and I was talking, and I was like, we failed her, because all the things that I learned in vacation Bible school, she doesn't know. We was talking about something about the books of the Bible, and I was like, wait a minute, girl. Now I know I took you to vacation Bible school. Why do you not know this? But we learned all those things, where it was challenges. Like, we learned all that. I know my books of the Bible. I know my scriptures. Like Angela said, we ain't had no choice. You go on a mission, so you learn scriptures, and those things are really hidden in your heart. Like, it's crazy. Like, one of my favorite scriptures is Psalms 27, but that was something that they in mission. I was the kid that was in mission, but they talked about it all the time. The Bible studies are really different from how we do things now and how we did it then. It was a Bible study. You were able to ask questions. You were reading the scriptures together while he explained. But it was our foundation is, it's really strong. It's unshakable. And that was one of the things that I love about Paradise, is that they taught us. They taught us. And so I feel like I think I'm a pretty good adult at this point. And it is because of them. I have morals. I'm just saying, I have morals, but I have something to lean on, and it's because of them. And it's crazy, because I'm realizing that they were my age and they were doing these things, but I think, like I said, I think I'm pretty amazing. And it is because of their teachings.
About Paradise?
It is because of their teachings. What did Mama say? Oh, but yeah. And so that was one of the things that I want to say, is that they, the foundation is amazing. So like, even as just talking about the building, it's the, they taught us. They taught us. And they had unshakable faith. And even just listening to them talk about of how, it was he had this idea, and they rallied together and they did everything. Like she said, everything and everybody was family. It was his brothers, his uncles, his cousins, and we came together as a family. Okay, I'm done.
And just, that foundation piece is so important, because one thing that I knew, even as I even went through the process of applying to be the pastor of Paradise, is, it was the reputation. Even other preachers like, man, look, you got to be strong in the word if you go to that church over there. He said, because they solid, man. They say, man, Pastor Kelly laid a strong foundation. So, you got to come in there strong. And you got to know the words, you got to study, you got to be for real about it. And, that caused me to, even though I've been doing my studying and in seminary and all that, it caused me to step my game up even more because of the foundation that was already there. And I mean, that's just awesome. And like you said, Sister Raven knows those lessons that she taught. And then Sister Lola and, with the music department and everything, just the way those things, even this many years later, how that still resonates. And I mean, that speaks volumes for the church itself. Now, something else I want to know now, during that time, the early years of Paradise, how many deacons were you? I mean, I know y'all mentioned some of the deacons, I didn't even know Reverend Rob was a deacon at first. I didn't know that. So, tell me a little bit about some of the other deacons. I know some of our longtime deacons who are still there, like Deacon Steve Winston. I know he's still with us, and Deacon Herman Daniel. But tell me about some of those deacons who were there, before.
Oh, well, Papa was there.
Yeah.
Deacon,
Uncle Bill.
well, I was gonna say, how far back we going?
As far back as you want to go.
What was Mantrus Miller?
He was one of the persons that helped build he wasn't a deacon. He was one of the persons that helped actually build the old building.
Okay.
He didn't do the work in the new building.
Okay.
Oh, he wasn't Deacon. Deacon Black.
Deacon Black.
He came, Deacon Black. He initially was at Ship of Zion with my grandfather, and then he came and he was there until he passed.
Still extended family.
Right.
Deacon Black.
The original deacon, we only had 3, and that was Reverend Rob, Buzz, and Papa. And when Reverend Rob was called to the ministry, we only had 2 deacons for years. And then Raymond Williams came and joined the church, and in the later years, he became a deacon. But for a long period of time, it was only Deacon Lewis Kelly and Deacon Taylor.
What about Deacon Black, though? He was there. He was our superintendent. I remember working with him years.
Right, he came, but it was like so many years that we still had the 2.
Okay.
And then Deacon Black came.
Because we were at the new church when he came, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Deacon Black came.
So it was like him, Uncle Jeff, and Ray was installed together.
Jeff came later too, when he and Jessica came to Paradise. But in those years,
he came with Mildred.
It was just It was just Papa and Lewis after Bobby became a preacher. I mean, Reverend Rob.
Okay, all right. Really? I gotta learn all the different names. Reverend Rob, Uncle Bobby. I gotta learn they're the same person. So the deacon chair. So I know we talk about who the deacons are. So who are the chairmen of the deacon from then all the way, her first chairman all the way to Ray Kelly? Who are the chairmen?
It wasn't no chairman then.
Chairman?
The first chairman or whatever, however you want to put that good stuff. And Mama, correct me if I'm wrong. Was once Raymond, and that was 2000. Did it pass 2012? Was it a chairman before then, Mama? Okay.
All right. Now I saved the best stuff for last, y'all. I saved the best stuff for last. Now I want to talk about 2 more things. First of all right, the building that is now our fellowship hall started getting too small. Let's talk about the process of moving from the building, which is now known as the Pastor Johnny Kelly Fellowship Hall, to the we're currently in. When was the time? When did Pastor get up and say, okay, we are growing this spot. It's time for us to build? Tell me about that process.
Mama.
Christine. I was about to say, that's Christine.
No.
No, he said to the new building, right? Yeah, that's Christine.
Oh, you mean, okay.
You gotta unmute yourself, Chris. We can't hear you. Did she hang up?
Oh, okay, I'm here. Now, as far as
Okay,
the
there you
new
go.
building, I remember, when he called the meeting, and I think your mom would know more details as far as the new building. I didn't know how it came about, how he decided that he was ready to build this other building. I know once he started, he called a committee together saying, we're gonna need people here during the daytime when they come in and start building. We're gonna need people to run errands. So he did a committee to do that. But at that time, I think I was working out of town. So I was in and out when he started the new building.
I remember being pregnant. So that was at least 16, 17 years ago, 16.
But I know in doing the new building, it was a challenge for him, because he ran into a lot of bumps here and there, but he came through it all. But it was a challenge getting that building up. And it was stressful. I didn't realize that in getting things done, Pastor Kelly, he was stressed out, but he was determined to get it done. Those was his goals, and those was the church goal, because we did need a larger building. So
Is Andre on? Is Andre on? Is Andre
Andre's
on
not
the call?
on.
He
No.
not on.
Yeah,
We were in a different
you need to talk to Andre on
transition.
that one.
I was gonna say we
Yeah, I was in
we were
Atlanta.
in a different place. We were in a total different place at that time. And so what the structure was different. So we were family, but we were in a different place. We were in a different development. So everybody was placed differently, if that makes it, real good sense. We were placed differently.
Basically, everybody
Andre.
basically everybody that's on this call, we were not there at the time of the transition.
Okay.
Except maybe Sister Raven, Chris, and Tasha.
Okay.
And Tasha was pregnant.
I remember.
Yeah.
And so that means I don't remember nothing.
Right.
I think Sister Raven saying something, but she's on mute.
Sister Raven, unmute, Sister Raven.
You got your jacket.
Unmute her. Let's see.
Uncle Bobby was there. He's on the call.
Is he on the call?
Okay, did he make it? Okay.
Uncle Bobby was there.
Yeah. He's ready. He's ready. Reverend Rob.
Yay!
Reverend Rob, you gotta talk to us.
Yeah,
Pastor Davis.
Ask him the question again.
She has to unmute him too.
Daddy. He is.
Yeah, he said he don't like it, but he said he gonna do it.
Take him out.
That man.
I'm just glad to be in the number one more time.
Reverend Davis.
Oh, I can tell you a whole lot about the church. Okay.
I don't know about this.
Reverend Davis, ask him the question again so he
No.
Yes, that one
Seems like we should.
Yeah.
No. Everybody back on mute.
Ask him specifically just what you said.
Yes, that's
That
right.
question.
All right, okay.
I don't think this is a good idea. I would just like to say, I don't think this is a good idea.
If it get too hectic, I'll mute him. I'll mute him.
I just, Reverend Rob, I call him my sidekick, because Reverend Rob truly, from the time, even when I was a candidate for pastor, Reverend Rob literally never left my side. And I don't know if he was trying to just keep his eye on me, make sure I wasn't doing nothing stupid, or he just. I think it was a little bit of both. But Reverend Rob, I just want you to tell us about your experience in Paradise. Tell us about just the things you did. I know you were Sunday school, and things. Talk about that.
Tell how Paradise came about. That's what we want.
Yeah.
You want to know how Paradise came about?
Yes, sir. Talk to us.
It was me, Pastor Kelly, Andre, and John. We went and finished that place. And I'm jollified now.
Jollified.
Jollified.
Did that in a long time.
Awesome, man. I think Reverend Rob, you just can't hear the love, Reverend Rob. He always got something to back you up, and he be like, because I know sometimes we in that corner at church, he be saying the stuff, and I'm just like, Lord, please, come on now. Yeah. Now here's y'all. This I really want to ask y'all about, and I promise y'all, I'm not gonna keep y'all much longer. Y'all, the Third Sunday musicals.
Oh my.
Third Sunday musicals. Y'all talk to me about that. The Third Sunday musical.
Went on and on.
Bigger church.
That's what we knew we needed a bigger church.
That's when we knew we needed a bigger church.
People got there 2 hours early to get a park and a seat. 2 hours early to get a park and a seat.
Let's be real. Out of all of the extra services we had to attend as children, third Sunday night, it was going down. Nobody cared. We going to King Chan's, get a dinner for 3 o'clock, and we're going to be in the place, ready. Okay. We
That's
all
true.
love the musicals.
That's right.
And just like, because I know, like, I might have gone to maybe 1 or 2 of them. And because see, the big thing is the 2 churches that were known in Houston to have some best musicals was Paradise and Christian Hope.
Yeah.
On second Sunday night, everybody went to Christian Hope. But on Sunday night, all roads led to 3605 Tangerine Street,
3605,
where it went down. And like, when a lot of the other Baptist churches were still, singing to the, the old songs and all of that, where you had this side that was doing it up with all the John P. Key and the Hezekiah Walker. I can remember, like, I think Andre must have taught every song on John P.
Right.
And the thing that impressed me about it is the band that y'all had back then was so tight, and you really thought it was John's band playing. You get Angie behind the mic to start singing.
Yep.
That place down. It's like, woo, man.
It was live.
And Dre, I was talking to Dre last Sunday night. We were just on the phone, just kind of talking. He was telling me that y'all raised some real good money in the musicals too. He said raised some real good money the third Sunday night musical. And like, I can remember one time, Sister Raven. I remember one time, I think that was the first time I heard your son, Don, sing.
That's right.
I remember that.
Beautiful.
I remember Trouble in My Way.
That was his song.
I remember hearing Don sing that song.
Like that.
I broke out, I think I broke out this song during Black History Month. I think I broke out. I mean, because I want to sing that. And I don't, when I try to make it meaningful. But those third Sunday night musicals are just slamming. And that's why, I can just appreciate it, because people always, people talk about, contemporary this, contemporary that. But Paradise was doing contemporary before contemporary became popular.
Mm-hmm.
Paradise did in the 80s and early 90s. A lot of churches are just starting to do it now.
Mm-hmm. So, Andre was before his time.
Exactly.
He was before his time, and he wasn't appreciated. And I think that we took for granted his amazingness, because that was just something that was just a regular Sunday to us. And so I think that he was taken for granted. And it's one of those things where it's kind of amazing now where people will see me and they be like, you Andre Kelly, little sister, me and your brother was this or that. And we didn't realize the gem that we had.
Yeah.
And that's just the honest God truth, because he did
That is so
put
true.
us on a map that
Yes.
he put us on a map in a way that others only long to be. But he was before his time, and people didn't understand that greatness. And if we could all do it all over again, we really would.
Yeah.
Because yes, like Tiffany said, that was like the best times of our lives.
Yes.
Enjoyed singing, loved it. That was, what you
know what I
learn
wanna
every part.
add to
You
that,
know how
Rachel?
to do it.
What I want to add to that though is I just think because of the timing in society and what church is supposed to be, and you're not supposed to do that in the choir, that type of music that's for concerts and that's outrageous and outlandish and all that kind of stuff. I just think those times was probably dictating why you feel like he was underappreciated, because in that era that was unheard of, but because our generation was coming in, or not taking over, but the new generation,
Take it over.
the older,
Yeah.
you have to stay with the current times, and that's what that was the time, so it was amazing. That's why we reached so many people, even though it might have gone against what
The
traditional
norm.
or traditional church services would do. It reached that many people because that's what you need. You need to bring people into Christ, and if that's reaching, and you can enjoy it and have fun and praise the Lord, I think it did what it needed to do in that era.
Yeah. But just to add to that, I think that was Pastor Kelly's greatest legacy. And I get so emotional hearing and reminiscing on those times. I mean, because everything we did was just off the chart, wonderful, spiritual. The legacy, Pastor Kelly, he allowed every person to work in the office of their gifting. And because he was so anointed and God loved him so much, it just flowed from the head all the way down. Our youth department was off the chain. I don't know about you guys, but I still live off the memories of Vacation Bible School, of those nights. What were they called? Those sleep-ins, shut-ins, lock-ins, when people would come from all over the city. I mean, youth departments would come from all over the city. It was because of the leadership, his love for God, his relationship with God, and it literally flowed into every ministry. If you look back, everything, even the hard times were, they were so good. Even the hurt feelings, the fussing among ourselves, the family squabbles, they were so, I remember them with such, I just cherish those memories right now. I don't know if you guys remember, but I reinstituted at the church I now attend the sister circle, the circle. Do y'all remember when we used to do the circle in that little house next door, and all the teenagers and young adults, you had to be a certain age to come into the circle, and what we did in talk about in circle stayed in the circle. And, it just seemed like everything we did, God blessed the work of our hands. And the legacy is you guys, you young adults who are moving and shaking and ministering and letting God be seen. That was Pastor Kelly's legacy. And it was because he stood in his office. He loved his family. He loved God first. He loved his family. He loved Aunt Bertha. We saw a man of God show us what a good husband looked like and modeled. And, that's what I remember. I remember a good husband, a good father, a good leader, someone who loved God, who loved us to success. I'm telling you, it wasn't just those third Sunday musicals. It was Sunday school, and it was being at church all day, packing a lunch, because you're going to 3 o'clock service, and some Sundays you coming back at 7. We didn't let you get out of it. You just didn't tell him no. It was magical almost. And maybe I'm just reminiscing to the sweetness of it, but that's what I remember about Paradise.
Yes.
And on the third Sunday nights, the whole just about half of the choir, the girls, would be at the house. Everybody had to go to the nail shop or something, but everybody would be at the house. They would come and they eat and they get together and they go to the nail shop on the third Sunday nights.
Like
The house would be full. But when Andre was and when Andre was in going to Prairie View and would teach basically some of the same songs, then we had some of the members that was in Prairie View that came to Paradise and was a part of the band and a part of the
and the family because they moved in.
Yeah, lived in the house. Okay. Well, they became a part of the church. I mean, it was a part of the church. They would come down and they would be singing and they would be playing, in the drums and guitars and all that.
Yeah, and even actually off of what Mama is saying, a lot of the known Houston musicians or people who have become famous, they came through Paradise. They all came through Paradise.
Yeah, because I've known some of the ministers of music y'all had over the years. I mean, and some of the musicians, and and me being a musician, I mean, there was some beasts that came through there.
You know how famous Paul Richard is.
Oh yeah.
Andre taught him.
Yeah, Paul.
Paul, Gary, Nathan, Ernest Walker, right?
Oh yeah, y'all.
Black.
Chris Black. Yeah.
I was gonna say
Nathan. It was Nathan, Chris Black, and Paul who played for the third Sunday night musicals.
Oh yeah,
that was the band.
That was the band. But the guests who came, like anybody who was trying to be somebody, they wanted to be on on the wall. They waited for their turn on the wall.
They were waiting on the wall to see if somebody would let them dip in.
John Mack got known in Houston through Paradise. He was from California, but he came and he worked at Paradise.
Yeah, just so amazing. Just so many great people, so many great musicians that came through there. I mean, just who would have thought that so much greatness would come from just this modest church sitting on the corner of Tangerine and Mallory Street? I mean, it's just amazing. And I mean, I know, like, just for me, it was just an honor just to be able to just take part in, the history of the church, because I mean, it's just the excitement, just because, like I said, I knew what Paradise stood for always. I mean, just the fact of talking to you all tonight has made me see so much more and understand so much more about the history of Paradise and what Paradise stands for, and Paradise will continue to stand for. And one thing, and I said this before, I think at my installation, that, whenever you have like key people who pretty much help lay the foundation to start the church, whenever you have them in your corner and supporting you as the new guy, as the new pastor, I mean, I know that speaks a lot of volume to me, and it speaks a lot of volume to First Lady, because I mean, the fact that y'all could easily say, you know what? No, he can't do nothing. He ain't gonna do nothing. No, but the fact that those y'all stuck with even the ones who are going on and doing other things. Everybody who's on this line right now, I'm in communication with. Even the people, former members, what have you, I'm still in communication with them. Like whenever I post something that's going on to the church, you like it. You share it. Y'all put your comments and everything. And I just want y'all to know how much I appreciate that, because that means a whole lot. Because I mean, just wow, just amazing. Because I heard my friend Andre Lewis say this, that when he was younger, he had some shoes. His mom would give him like some shoes that he couldn't quite fit just yet. He would have to put some paper in the shoes just so the shoes could stay on. And I can truly say that you all are my paper.
Yeah.
Paper. And I appreciate y'all being my paper and letting me grow into these shoes, these big shoes that Pastor Kelly left to fill, because there's some very big shoes.
Yes.
And I'm just appreciative of that. And oh man, this has been awesome. I could stay on this line till midnight, but I know we got to wrap it up at some time because I see Tasha looking like, okay, Pastor, time up.
And can I say one thing?
Yes, ma'am.
I care so much about it, about Paradise and the members. When you first posted and you said for Paradise members only, that comes up, I was offended. I was like, I'm looking at this stuff. I don't care what he say, because it says for Paradise members only.
But you know what though?
And so what I'm saying is, if it didn't mean anything to me, I wouldn't have been. I wasn't offended, but I was like, if it didn't mean anything to me, I wouldn't have cared. But it means something to me, so I said, I'm looking at I don't care what he said. I'm looking what else he got to say. So I started reading it. I'll always be a part.
Miss Bertha, you already know, and I guess I text this to Tasha. I say, Miss Bertha, she is. She say, because when she was getting this, she said, you want Aunt Bertha to get on that? I say, Miss Bertha, I say, she is Paradise.
Right. Lifetime. Right.
Hey, Lobel.
Hey, girl. I see you.
That goes without saying. I mean, and I'm just, and once again, just thankful of just having you all. I said, okay, Angie, okay. So I'm just thankful just having you all, just in the mix, and just I feel your prayers, I feel your support,
yes.
and I really believe that even now that we're in this virtual space, there are a lot of great things that are going to return to Paradise. Y'all had so many ideas in my head at the beginning of this year. Little did I know that COVID was going to come in and do what it did. I mean, I have many, just great things that, God has already shown me that we're getting ready to do that's pretty much lining up with things that you all have already done in the past. Yeah. And again, I thank you all for taking this time and schooling me and schooling my wife,
yes.
About what Paradise is all about. Because I've gone to class tonight.
Yes, this is amazing.
I've gone to school.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right.
Amazing. So again, I thank y'all, Tasha. Again, thank you so much for putting this together. This was a brainchild I had at 2:00 in the morning. Tasha the next day. I say, can we do something? Can we put something together? And she jumped right on it, and here we are. And as a matter of fact, this conversation tonight, we're gonna be on our Facebook Live page. So tune in. It's gonna be a premiere. Y'all tune in. Since we can't have a 3:00 service, this is gonna be our 3:00 service right here.
Can it not be on Friday night? Stop it.
Let's go back and replay it.
All right.
But you know what? In real talk, thank you so much. I sincerely appreciate. Honestly, I put up mental blocks because it becomes a little challenging for me from time to time. But this was good. It was good. It was good hearing what everybody else had to say.
Yeah.
It was good to be able to feel what I feel in a comfortable spot. And so I thank you for the opportunity. I thank you for, like I said, it was good. That was good therapy. Thank you, Pastor. That was good therapy. Thank you. Thank you.
Pay my money.
And the check is in the mail, Tasha. And if y'all got any like pictures and stuff, then I want to try to get a slideshow or something together, so
That's you.
Whatever pictures y'all got, please send them Tasha's way, and she'll and everything, so people can go and look. Goes to the memories.
Mama is the historian. That's who has all
That's
the
Aunt
pictures.
Bertha. Aunt Bertha.
Hook us up.
All of them.
She got all the best pictures.
Hook us up.
I didn't say they was the best. I said she got all the pictures.
Okay, she got all the pictures. Some of them pictures, I'ma hope that she refuses to share.
Right, mother.
Miss Bertha, you share whatever you want to.
Right.
Beautiful.
Send
They
it through
been
the
talking.
committee first.
I'm the boss.
Thank
Before we
you.
go,
Thank
before
you.
we go,
Thank
do
you.
y'all remember the play Who Killed the Church that we
Yes.
did?
Yes.
I bet it's been 30 years.
Yes.
Do
I
you
think we
know
need
I
to do it
still
again.
have that tape and it works?
What?
Oh, amazing. Andre looks so funny. You remember he came in? I still have the tape, the VHS tape from Who Killed the Church. And I know that must have been 30 years ago in the old church. I mean, all y'all were teenagers. Oh, it is so wonderful. I just want y'all to know I have it.
We have to see
I
that.
probably should go
We
to
should
Paradise
watch it.
in the archives.
We should
Tina
have
say
it.
do movie night.
Watch it.
Can you get
Movie
that?
night.
Denise, can you look that up for us?
Denise, they stole the tape that we had of when Rachel was little, and y'all was singing, and Johnny was standing next to her, and they were singing in the choir, all the big choir, and she was rocking and Johnny.
Who got that tape? Someone took it that version.
It was between Andre and Rachel, because they didn't Andre didn't like, because he was
I
telling
don't
them to
recall.
stop.
I don't
Well,
recall this.
Inverter, I want you to know I still have that tape. Who Killed the Church? I have it in the next room. It still works and it plays. And if we do need to have a girl sleepover night where we watch that tape. It is the most amazing thing.
I want to see you too.
Wow. I don't leave you out, huh?
We don't.
I mean, we can do it just a regular showing, but it is so cool.
All right, yeah, Denise, holler at me on that. We gonna let's hook that up.
Okay, because I have it.
But listen, y'all, thank y'all so very much. I see the comments. Thank y'all so much. This is awesome. It was amazing. And y'all know I'm gonna talk about this when I get up in the pulpit Sunday. So we're gonna replay it. So I want y'all to watch it when it comes on, share it with other people. And again, I just want y'all to know that, we as, and ladies, I'm sure you can testify that, we love each and every last one of you all. Paradise is always going to be your home. Our doors are always open, and please, y'all, whenever church opens up, I know Ms. Lola say she coming through. When it opens up, y'all come and see us. Y'all, and if the Lord say the same, when we do our 40th anniversary next year, this is nothing compared to what we're getting ready to do. So I look forward to it. Y'all first lady said, I want a musical.
You're right, they weren't.
Hey, let's do it.
We always ready. Always ready.
We stay ready.
Bring all the heavy. We gonna pull Dre out of retirement. And all.
Night squad.
I might even play a couple of.
There it is.
There you go. All right now.
So thank y'all so much. Looking forward to just, we're going to close out the celebration Sunday. Hope to see y'all during the virtual service. Or if you want to just swing through the sanctuary, come see us. We still got a little room. So it'll be great. Awesome. Thank y'all so very much. Tasha, again, thank you so kindly for putting this together.
Thank you.
Y'all get them pictures on the members only page so we can do something.
Okay.
All right. Thank y'all. Thank you, everybody. Thank y'all so much.
Good night, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.